I have a 100-miler scheduled for February. So we'll see how that goes.
One day, a couple days, like the whole month. Like, what do you? That would take me.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get under 20 hours. So,
Under 20 hours.
we'll see.
Holy
We
shit!
haven't
I
even
don't
gotten
Put
to
me
this
to
yet.
shame.
No big deal. I mean, just under 100 hours. It's fine. I could do that, like in my car, maybe. I don't even know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 91 of the On the Runs podcast. It is late. We are finally doing this.
My
We're
fault.
going to get it in. What a night it's been, Erica. But how are you? Are you namaste? Namaste, Erica. Breathe.
I had to do some meditating earlier. Now
Calm
I've
down.
calmed down. Yep. Goosefraba. Is that what it is?
What an evening we've had.
Oh. Well, I'm glad it worked itself out. I was having some Riverside issues. And I fixed them by using my old ass laptop. So
It's a dinosaur. She's on a
Older than a
Toshiba, guys.
dinosaur.
Is that company even in business anymore? We had an
tell you.
interview scheduled tonight. We just finished recording. And I just need to give, you know what? You were a little angry. You wanted to throw shit at the wall. I want to tell you something, Erica.
Mhm.
I couldn't do this without you because I tried. We just
The
had on
struggle
this
is real.
amazing guy. You guys aren't going to hear from him for a few weeks, but I was like, listen, dude, we're just going to go with this. And she's going to jump in at some point. And him and I are recording for 30 minutes. It was a disaster because I'm like looking at the notes. I'm like reading your messages as you're trying to upload this. You're deleting the app. You're
Downloading and-
reinstalling the app. And I'm like,
Definition of shit show.
listen, you know what you are though?
Hmm.
You're an amazing listener because you actually listen to these our guest stories as
Mhm.
I'm preparing for later with the notes, and I'm sometimes thinking ahead.
That's why we work, man.
The point is, I'm glad it's working out because
Mhm.
that was so much better with you, and I couldn't do this without you.
See, yeah, that's why we work so well together because I can do it on the fly and you are ready to get us back on track when we inevitably go way off track.
We went way off track,
Way off
and that is why it is very late, 11:02 p.m. on Monday night. Everyone, this will be dropping in 5 hours.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So he's going to do some editing. We're going to keep
But
this
it's
on
not
the
going to
short
be that bad because our guest today, Abby, I already edited her podcast. We recorded with her on December 5th.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And listen, the goal of this podcast isn't to have guests on 6-7 weeks in advance. It's the way it worked out with getting ahead of it for the
Mhm.
new year so we could take some time off during the holidays.
Yep.
And we were introduced to Abby by one of our favorite people in the whole wide world, Lena.
Yeah, we cannot thank her enough because that turned out to be an excellent episode and a little bit nostalgic for me, which you guys will see. There's a special guest appearance midway through. So
That's right. Pretty
Lots of
early on,
fun.
actually.
Yep,
So
yep.
we'll get to that in a second. I want to comment, though. I
Mhm.
always say you're coming from your spare bedroom studio, but right now, where are you coming from? Where's this studio?
Yeah, it's a little late to be recording in the spare bedroom because somebody needs to go to bed. So I am in my kitchen. I'm sitting at my little island. So I have no idea how the acoustics are going to be. So bear with
You
me.
sound great.
Well, good to know.
It's nice, convenient. You're next to a bunch of snacks. So if we ever went long, you wouldn't go hungry.
That is true. I don't know if people would want to hear me like crunch on a. Well, is that ASMR? I don't know.
Well, I
Do
could-
people
I
like
could
that?
I could mute it. When I'm
Oh,
talking, you could
true.
be eating. I could silence your line.
Stuffing
Yeah,
handfuls
yeah,
of
yeah.
chips in my face. Nobody will ever know.
Do you know what's really weird though? It is 11 o'clock at night, and I feel like we're both like
both
talking very
whispering.
quietly because like everyone's sleeping in the houses, and I was like, "What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 90." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I
Now we
gotta
got to
talk
bring it down. So yeah, it is a little adjustment from our usual locations and volumes, but
Ugh.
hopefully it comes out okay. We'll see.
The adventures of podcasting. I'm going to walk downstairs soon, and Ashley's going to be like, "Are you finally done?" Usually we're
I'm
done
gonna
by
get
now.
the same thing.
Usually we're
Yeah.
done by like 10 o'clock. We're a full hour later than normal. So
Yeah,
let's not delay this anymore and get us into trouble with our significant others. Let's get to Abby.
Let's. You guys are going to absolutely love Abby. She is just an amazing runner in general, but she is dabbling in the ultra world. I am just so excited to hear more from her. And I don't even remember when her races are, but whenever she's running them, I hope she does a great
Well,
job.
not only that, like her life was a struggle, like in high school or college years with Lyme disease.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I
she couldn't
forgot
even get
about
out of bed. Like Lena was her caretaker. Not really,
See, the
but kind of.
things you forget when you record an entire month
Usually
plus ahead
our
of time. So
yeah, usually our recordings are about 2 weeks before, and it drops 2 weeks later. This was just happened to be these next couple episodes you guys are going to hear are in advance, but it's because we knew we were taking some time off in February, personal time off, not
that never
podcast
happened.
time. So we had to get ahead. We had to get
Yeah.
ahead. But you guys are going to love her. Abby Bandi on the On the Runs podcast. Enjoy, guys, and we'll see you on the other side. Our next guest on the pod is an East Coaster who moved west to find her roots. She's brought to us by one of our favorite friends of the pod, and we're going to hear all about her now. She's a 14-time marathoner chasing the world majors and a newbie to the ultra scene. She just got back from a dip in the ocean, and she's here with us now. We're so excited to welcome Abby Bandi to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Abby?
Hi, how are you guys?
We are good. We're so happy to have you, Abby. This is going to be a lot of fun because you and I have so much in common, and I can't wait to dig in and just hear more about you, especially since you are friends with Lena, and we certainly love Lena over here. So welcome to the On the Runs podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are big friends with Lena, and we can talk all about running and ultras another day, but this is just going to be all about her. We want to hear about her first kiss, first boyfriend, who was the poster she had on her wall, her ceiling above her bed. Let's get the dirty details on Lena. Go.
Okay, well, actually, I met Lena my junior year of high school through her sister. So I don't know a ton about Lena's past. Unfortunately, I can give you all the dirt. But junior year on, I can give you all the dirt. But she was always like the cool big sister to Alicia and I. So I would go hang out with Alicia, and I always just was like, who's this really cool person? And it was Lena. But
how much she paying you to say that? I'm just kidding. You know what she told me, actually? She told me that both your father and her father are pastors. Yes. And that you and her sister, who are like best friends, were really good girls growing up. But that Lena, that she was like the opposite. And she was like the bad girl or like the one not behaving. And she goes, Abby and my sister behaved all the time. I didn't.
So yes, compared to Lena, maybe I did. But in my family, I was the black sheep. So I can relate to Lena a little bit on that.
That's too funny. I can't picture her doing anything wrong. Well, not that it would be wrong, but like, I don't know.
I'm thinking like sneaking out of the house, escaping out the bedroom window, going down the roof, sliding, jumping into a big snow pile, and going to a boyfriend's house. I'm thinking a wild side. Yeah.
He definitely has a wild side. It's true. We definitely had, probably the worst thing I did with Lena was like, I don't know. Well, actually, no, we did a lot of good things together. We did save a snapping turtle once together.
Oh, we'll get there.
On the side of the road.
Awesome.
And honestly, and on a more serious note, a big part of my memories with Lena are when I was at a point in my life where I was really sick. I actually lived with Lena and Alicia for a few months. They like took me in completely. And it's funny because I actually was just thinking of Lena this morning. Every time I make French press coffee, I think of her because she used to always make the best French press coffee for me and Alicia every morning. So, yeah.
That's super cool. We'll get into your whole story soon. We will, but we want to get to know you a little bit. Where are you right now? You're on the West Coast. You just went for a swim in the ocean. You told us you have a goal to swim every day this month?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to try to jump in the ocean every day. I had a cold plunge membership for like a month and a half. And then I was like, why am I paying for a membership when I can just go jump in the ocean for free? So
smart. There you go.
So, yeah.
Well, wait, what's a cold plunge membership? Is this like at a place and you can go and do those ice bucket dips? Okay.
So
I really
definitely utilize what's in your backyard. Go for it.
My CrossFit gym has like a cold plunge. It's like an ice bath and then a sauna, and you can pay for a membership. It's like everyone's doing it now. It's a new fad.
It is. I really want to get one, and I get all the ads for them, and I'm like, I can just go to Tractor Supply Company, grab a tub or a big like trash barrel, fill it up with snow and water, and I'm good, right?
It's true, but I will say if I still lived on the East Coast, I don't think I would cold plunge because I would just be too cold to do it outside. Out here,
The ocean over here. It could be like August and it's going to be freezing cold. So that's, it's not going to be good.
I actually have a friend who he bought an old, those like icebox freezers. He bought one of those.
Yeah.
He made it and made his own cold plunge out of it for like $200, and they go for like $2,000. So,
wow, that's really smart actually because it's insulated. It's going to stay cold.
Yeah.
That's resourceful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's smart. I guess I was just going to say a $30 trash barrel at Home Depot. But,
That too.
Then
you have to
I like the old chest basement freezer. That actually is really smart. Throw it outside, stays cold. Not bad.
It is, yeah.
So where are you on the West Coast? You're in California, but California is very large.
It is. Yeah, I'm in Santa Monica, so I'm right outside of LA, just like south of Santa Barbara, Ventura, just north of like Orange County, Manhattan Beach. So I'm 20 blocks from the beach right now, so it's like the perfect spot. And I work over in Beverly Hills.
So it's easy enough for you to just run over to the ocean, basically. Do you actually run there or will you drive?
Sometimes, but tonight I drove because I was rushing after work and then drove back here.
You had to come meet with us, so you had a good
Yeah,
excuse.
she had an important podcast guest appearance to come on. That's right.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
What was life growing up for you then? Before you met Lena, before junior year of high school, you were, I think if you told us right, you were born in the West, you were born out on the West Coast, but you came east.
Yeah, so I was born in Santa Monica, like 3 blocks from where I live now. But I moved to Boston when I was 2, so I have no recollection of it. And I grew up in like a small town outside of Boston for most of my life. And then middle of my junior year of high school, my dad got a job up in New Hampshire at a different church. And all my siblings were out of the house at that point. So me and my parents moved up there. And it was rough moving the middle of my junior year of high school, for sure. It was right before basketball season. I was a basketball player. And Alicia was Lena's sister was one of my first friends at the new high school and just like took me in completely. And we stayed close ever since. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not trying to figure out how old you are, but when was this?
So I graduated high school in 2010. So I'm 31. You can ask. It's fine.
We got a couple years on you.
Where in New Hampshire though? I don't even know, like, where is Lena from in New Hampshire? Where did you girls grow up?
Up in Plymouth, New Hampshire. So up north. My parents were in Thornton. Yeah. And then they were right down they were like 2 miles down the street in Camden. So it was great. Yeah.
We are quite familiar with that area because we went to school in Plymouth, and I actually still have friends who live in like Thornton and Campton and stuff up there. So especially Lena. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
one of my good buddies is the police chief in Campton. So Lena, you better start behaving. No more sneaking out at night.
That's true. Yeah, the high school I went to was like a mile down the road from Plymouth University. I went to Plymouth Regional High School.
Awesome.
Were you sneaking in the Lucky Dog when you were in high school, getting drinks with a fake ID ever?
Me and
yes?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I hope I can't get in trouble for serving minors then.
I forgot about the Lucky Dog. Does that place even still exist?
Oh yeah, my buddy owns it too. My buddy took a share of it and he owns it. They're doing really well actually. They bought, you remember next door there's like a Asian restaurant called the Mandarin Taste?
Yeah, didn't that place burn down though? Or didn't they like catch on fire?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right, but it didn't burn down because they sold it to Dave, who is now a part owner at Lucky Dog. So they now own that part of the building. And they knocked the wall down where the dance floor used to be. And they went for like big events like football games or the World Series or whatever. They open up the entire area. And then on the weekend, I also think that Mandarin side is open. And above is like a burger joint now for people to come to get burgers and dogs and stuff. All part of the Lucky Dog. But I think they gave it a different name.
Okay.
I'll have to check it out. I saw it. They did all this remodeling. It looks great. Yeah. So the Lucky Dog's still around. Love that spot.
Hold on. I got to ask a question before we move on. But so you said you graduated high school in 2010, Plymouth Regional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have a teacher, specifically like a gym/health teacher, Ashley Fleming?
She's my field hockey coach.
That's one of our best friends.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's awesome. She and I still we'll go back and forth on Facebook posts if that's the thing, every now.
I'm gonna make sure she listens to this one. Hey Ash, what's up?
Awesome.
That's so fun.
She's awesome.
She's still there. She's still coaching. She's still teaching. She's still loving it up there. So we'll tell her you say hi.
Yeah, please do. Funny story with her. They had me try. I played field hockey in Boston, and then and at Plymouth, and they had me try goalie one game. It was the worst decision.
Oh no!
I'd never played goalie before in my life, but it's a solid memory of Plymouth field hockey. The one game I tried to play goalie.
Oh man. What a small world, though. That's really cool. So many little connections here and there.
Yeah. No, I think doesn't she have kids now too?
Oh, yep. She's got 2. Yep. She's got Genevieve. I don't know if she's got G, who is oh gosh, she 8 years old, almost 9, and then her younger daughter is 5. Oh my god,
cool kids too.
I don't even know, but they're getting older and they're adorable and super smart, and yeah, she's a great mom, great teacher, great coach, all the above.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Fun connections. Yeah, the last time I was in Plymouth, I'm trying to think. I haven't been there. I had to go out to see my parents, but I didn't really go to downtown Plymouth. I was out there in 2022, but I don't remember when. 2 or 3 years ago, I was driving back from Vermont, and my 2 girlfriends and I stopped at, I think it was Biederman's. Is that what it's called? The deli?
Yeah, the sub
Yeah,
place.
we love Biederman's.
Oh, we're big fans.
Really good sandwiches, yeah. So we stopped.
Erica was so disappointed during Reach the Beach that she didn't get to stop at Biederman's this year.
So, yeah, Reach the Beach is it usually goes from, it's a relay race that goes, it used to go Bretton Woods down to Hampton, but this year they had to reroute it because, yep, and Lena did it too. So, but they rerouted it and it went up through Cannon and down through Thornton, Plymouth and stuff. And I was like, you guys, if we have time, stop and get me a sandwich. I don't need any van support. That's all I want. Just get me a sandwich. And by the time we got through that area, it was 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, they're closed. Yeah. I can't get my damn sandwich. But
yeah, because they were a morning and lunchtime place. They were never open after 3 p.m.
No.
Oh, well, I think they're a little bit better now these days, but it all depends. But that's always way too late. They have a cute little bar in there now, and you can watch sports too. But sadly, I did not get my nice sandwich.
Yeah, bummer.
I'll live.
Look who just joined us on the pod, Ashley Fleming.
Hi.
Coach is on to tell us all about field hockey.
I mean, the fact that you also said Ashley Fleming goes to tell you how long ago it was that I had Abby as a player, but that's okay.
I was telling them about, do you remember that game that you guys tried to put me as goalie?
Oh my god, I was just thinking about that when I got the message. I was like, oh, Abby.
I was that was a count for whatever, but it was definitely not my best.
You were great. You were waddling like a penguin with the gear on, but it was awesome.
So funny. How are you?
Ashley, we're just talking about, life, and Abby tells us she moved to Plymouth, New Hampshire, and met some friends of ours who hooked us up. You
so
played
weird.
field hockey?
That's so weird.
Do you happen to know? Yeah.
I love it.
I didn't know this person. I mean, gosh, Abby, what year was it that you graduated?
2010.
That was just the other day. It always seems like it was just last year, and then I'm like, no, that's 13 years ago. Abby was actually one of the first waves that had gone through, because my first year of coaching was the fall of 2008. And so, just kind of how Abby was, I kind of clung to her because I was still new and I was still fresh. And actually, Abby's parents I had known too, especially Abby's mom, because her mom worked with my mother-in-law at the school in town. And so, and your mom, by the way, Abby, is the sweetest. I see her every summer at our in-service days, and she always says how much fun you had with field hockey. And I was always like, oh my god, that's my girl running around all the time now. Make me so proud. But it was funny because I like to think that like anytime a field hockey player like goes to the, I'm not going to say the dark side, especially on a running podcast, but when they always like switch over to cross country, because cross country always had like shorter practices and, a meet once a week. And so whenever a field hockey player goes to like cross country team instead, I'm just like, I was training them the whole time. It's fine. I was just getting them ready for it.
You did so good, Ash. Proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
To be fair, I never went to cross country in high school, so I enjoyed field hockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ashley, as you said, 2010 was just yesterday. Have you been keeping tabs on Abby for the last 13 years?
So, I mean, yeah. So eventually, once the kids graduate, we can eventually become friends with them on social media. And so Abby, it's so funny because now the groups that Abby has graduated with, like they're all like grown up now and married and have kids. And that's where I know, and I don't know if you can tell with the lighting here, how gray I've become. No, but it's just like one of those things where like you see them grow up and do all these incredible things. And Abby's one of those cases where like she just like she developed like herself, like she's grown into herself and she's just like discovered what she's really good at. And it's her strength, and not only like physically, but as an individual and her like emotional status. And I'm so proud of you, Abby, because you've been killing it. And it's just awesome to see and all that you accomplished. Like every time you're like, I'm just going to do this Iron Woman something race thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, like that is incredible that you just even want to do that. And so, Erica and I and Newt talk all the time. I'm like, yeah, the fact that you guys want to do that voluntarily without like chasing a ball or, going for food or going for a drink at the end, which I know there's those races as well. But I'm like, I lose the motivation after a while.
Thank you.
We're just going to strap a carrot to your head, Ashley, or like a ding dong or something. That's your motivation.
One of those oatmeal cream pies or something.
Are you?
What a small world.
You're still at Plymouth Regional, Ashley?
I'm still there, Abby. This is so let's say, I think this is my 16th season that I just finished, and I'm still teaching there.
That's
too.
Incredible.
So.
And didn't you help out with basketball too? Or no?
Yeah, so I did help out with the girls' basketball team too, probably when you were still playing too. Yep, I did that for a little bit. And then we started a unified basketball team, so I started helping out with that and some softball. But now with two young girls, I just stick to the one season, which is field hockey.
How old are your girls now?
8.5 and 4.5.
So close. Ashley was like, she's 9 and 5.
No,
I rounded up.
Yeah, I mean, basically the teenage years, based off of how they've been acting lately. Sweet. I've already threatened to like cancel Christmas 5 times already, and it's not even the 5th of December.
Are you doing the elf on a shelf thing?
So Genevieve has really pushed for, my oldest one has really pushed for the elf on a shelf, but I think I threatened her enough with don't tell them, but if you just go on YouTube, there's a Santa's voicemail. And so I'll just kind of be like, I'm putting Santa on speaker, and I'm gonna like pretend to dial it, and I kick it on, and Anna's in the background, the youngest, and she's like, don't call Santa, don't tell. So I think the threat of just calling Santa directly and leaving a voicemail on the North Pole is enough. That and just like, God's always watching. Like, you don't need no help. God's always watching all year round.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you're killing it as a mom, and that just proves it. You're an incredible mom.
Yes. If you need any further parenting tips, follow me on my
Your kids are so smart, though. It's crazy how smart they are.
Yeah, it's too smart.
You do a good job, Flab. You do a good job.
Well, like I said, with like Abby's, a strong, independent woman, it's like all these skills that like my girls are showing, this like negotiation skills and the strong will and independence, like great. Not want to try to get out of the house and you're a 4-year-old. Like that's not when I need to see this. So
it's so funny.
They had to learn it from somewhere.
Their father, he's met.
Oh, Peter.
Hi, Pete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is awesome. Thanks for jumping on real quick to see Abby. It was hilarious. When we mentioned you, I got to my phone right away. I'm texting you and I'm like, hey, Erica, carry the podcast for a while. And she's like, carry the podcast? What? What are you doing?
We were just kind of shooting the shit. And I was like, oh, I have to like look at notes now because where were we? Yeah, we were all over.
Yeah, let me go back to where we were. No, so Abby, what's the next thing you're going to do? I want to know.
I have 100-miler scheduled for February. So we'll see how that goes.
One day, a couple days, like the whole month? Like, what do you... That would take me.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get under 20 hours. So,
Under 20
but
hours.
we'll see.
Holy
We
shit.
haven't
I
even
don't
Put
gotten
me
to
to
this yet.
shame. We'll get back to that, but yeah.
I don't know. I can never run 100 miles, so we'll see. But
No big deal. I mean, just under 100 hours. It's
we'll
fine. I could do that like in my car, maybe. I don't even know.
I love you so
I
much.
love you, Ashley.
No, but I'm in awe because like I love it. I do. I just the fact that you have the motivation, you have the desire to do it.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. Good for you.
It's
Like,
it's
I
all
just-
resiliency and endurance I learned from high school field hockey and basketball.
Oh,
This
I
is
love that.
warming my
I'm gonna
heart
have to
so
send-
much. It's a
I think I
reunion
need to.
show.
I was gonna say I need to like Abby. I'll send mom like a field hockey shirt rep for you. I'll have to like pass it along so the next
I
time you're
would
running, you can
love
do a little shout out.
that. Yes, please.
Yeah, be like the
And I'll
Bobcat training
send a
session.
selfie to all of you. You can post it on the
Yes.
Instagrams. Just have it.
Yes, please do. You know what? How about this? I'll make a deal. Why don't you just come back and do the conditioning week for my
I
field
love
hockey team, like the week before preseason, and be like, all right, so today we're gonna do 100 miles under 20
Actually,
hours.
if you
or
want me to
whatever.
come
We're
back
just gonna-
next fall and help with a conditioning week, I'm down. I will.
Yes, please.
So
Yes, please.
hold
Yep.
on one
Come, you can
second.
stay with mom and dad.
I got a question for you, Ashley, because you said you started in
Okay.
08. Abby, you moved to Plymouth in 2010, right?
No, like 2008. So it would have been.
So you were both
Yeah.
new. So Abby moved to Plymouth when she was a junior in high school. And I was going to ask you, Ashley, if you remember what that was like, because you have the new kid moving to a high school and that's hard and everything. But you were the new kid too, the new coach. So maybe that was easier.
It was kind of easier. I mean, I'll be honest. I love those girls. My seniors and juniors, my first couple of years, they're great kids and they've become great adults. But it is hard when you're fresh and you're a new coach because they're so used to what was and the new ways. And so here I was. My first year of teaching and coaching was survival mode. Like that was just get me through. Let's see if I can even do this. And then, it wasn't until like Abby's year, you started to get a rhythm going. And then, but, as I kept going, I just got better and better and kept learning. And I think with Abby's group, it was kind of, they'd gone through like the wave, like anyone who had already been like at the varsity level had kind of already graduated out. And so I was kind of having this first group of my own players to work with. And I always have such great girls. I think I always have very smart and just respectful girls. And, it's always great when they work hard and can actually play the game too. So I think with Abby too, as she mentioned about the goalie thing, it was just like, Abby, go on defense. Okay. Abby, you want to play like a little forward? Okay. You want to go in goal? We need a goalie. Okay. I think I remember too, it was like the one time where I'm like, oh shoot, she went in. She wasn't supposed to, but she was in for like 2 seconds. Does it still count? I don't even know. It was, still learning the
I was
rules.
just
It was
along
fine.
for whatever. I was like, okay.
She's a real team player. She's a team player.
Remind me later. I'll try to find some like photographic evidence of Abby playing. Like I'll have to go. Like I feel so dated now, but I'm like it's probably on a digital camera somewhere. Is this
At least
photo?
Somewhere.
Yeah, let me check a hard drive.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you got a month.
Check a yearbook at school,
Yeah,
Ash.
Yeah, not on my phone. That's for darn sure. I'm like gonna.
You had a flip phone back
dig
then,
back.
probably.
Yeah, for real. Like there were some photos of Erica and I from just the other day of us like climbing it was like a snow day at Plymouth State, and it was I'm like that was on a digital camera. Maybe even a wind up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have until January 16th to find that photo. You got some time.
I will
I'll look too.
go on that mission right now. I was gonna say, I'm sure there's maybe a tagged photo or something.
There you go.
Who
There
knows?
you go. Yeah, you'll find it in no time. You go into creeper mode. I like that mode on Instagram and Facebook.
Well,
creeper
stalker
mode.
mode.
Erica
Why
knows.
not?
That's
TLC.
just
'cause
you.
I
You're
creep.
the creeper. You're the creeper mode. Yeah.
Ashley, thanks for
Love it.
jumping on. I hope you
I
and the kids have a great Christmas. I hope to see you soon.
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
be in the area a couple
Thank
times.
you.
And
Love
yeah,
it.
and if you see the friendly police chief there in Campton, say hello.
Oh, will do. I mean, I hope I never really do run into them, but when I do, I hope it's always
Well, you know who he is,
with
right?
pleasantries. Which one is that? Is that Foss?
Yeah, the Chief Foss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, you got Big Doll, so I think Big Doll
got
trumps
Dolly, I gotta worry about- I
Chief
gotta-
of Police at Campton there. Stady. We got Stady
Isn't
friends.
Peter, isn't he a police officer?
Peter's a selectman. Yeah, Peter's a selectman in town too. So it's like we know all the people. We can't go anywhere in town. Between me as a teacher, my husband as a town official, and then my daughters go to daycare. Like Anna knows like a random parent like in Hannaford. She's like, "Oh, that's so and so's mom." I'm like, Yeah.
She's like Danielle, who just happens to know everywhere, no matter where she is. She could be in California.
Yes.
One of our friends from college. She could be in California and be like, "Hey, I remember you from that one time at this party in Plymouth."
They lived in that room on the cross of the place with the people in the thing, and I'm like,
sure.
I remember that.
Everywhere, but
Whatever.
it's cool.
Yeah. Abby, are you coming home for the holiday?
I won't be home for the holiday. I work. I'm in a hospital, so I work most holidays.
See, that's the other thing. I mean, not only is she a freaking good runner, she's like saving lives, which
running miles and
I'm just
saving
teaching-
lives.
I'm just teaching the youth in the future of our society. That's okay.
That's
nice. I'll be out there.
Yeah, she'll be out there doing your training for your team. Conditioning week, 100-miler. Let's go.
True.
Just try to make sure you don't make them hate field hockky. So as long as they can still tolerate it.
Hate running.
You know what? They'll like field hockey more right?
Than cross country.
Yeah.
There you go. Sold.
Well, if they can do the running part, it's just a matter of getting the sticks. If they'll outlast, it's just a matter of getting the sticks.
You know what I always thought was weird about field hockey? Everyone has to play righty.
Stick. So yes and no. There are only righty sticks, but you can play lefty.
But then the stick's upside down.
It is, but it's funny because there's actually a handful of high school players and a whole bunch of collegiate players that are now left-handed dominant, so they play with it upside down, and they freaking kill it. They can still. It's an advantage.
Well, I wish I knew that.
You gotta be able to figure it out.
I wish I knew that when I played field hockey, as in Spirit Week for high school. All the boys played field hockey, and I had 2 goals, and that wasn't too bad being a lefty, and I had to play righty.
Yeah, so long as you play with it, on the flat side, that's legal.
All right. I'll remember that next time I play field hockey.
Yeah, next time. Good times.
Ashley, thanks for jumping on the pod.
Love
and thanks
you.
for being and really quick, thank you for being a supporter of the pod for the past year and a half. We love you.
Oh, yeah, listen, keep running on. And anytime I see any sort of running reference or somebody doing something silly related to running, I'm like, oh my God, I have to send it to. So
I appreciate it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
You're the best, Ashley.
Bye, guys. Abby, stay well.
To see you.
See ya.
Oh, that was so cool. How cool was that?
We got connections, man.
It was kind of funny, though. She was sideways.
That's her first appearance on the pod, I think, right?
It is. So Abby, she's been a friend of ours for years, like since freshman year.
I met her in 2004 when we first started college. She was, I had a college roommate. We were in like a corner room and we could see into their room from our room. So we made friends. Like they were just like around the hallway. So that's, we've been friends for, oh my God, almost 20 years. Really? Almost 20 years. Wow. Okay, so
and here's Abby. She's only 21 years old. She's like 20 years.
That's when I was born. No, it is crazy when you have kids that are like people that are now drinking. They're like, "Oh, I was born in 2001," and I'm like, "What?"
I can't believe when you go to a bar and you see the sign. You see the sign that says "must have ID" and it has the date and it's digital, so it will change at midnight. I remember that sign when I worked at the bar and it was in the 80s. I can't believe now it's in the 2000s.
Yeah, it is
unbelievable. All right, so after that awesome visit from Flem Dog, let's get back into your story. If I recall, okay, you moved East Coast, you went to Plymouth, and then where did you go to college? You went to Philly or you went around somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I started in Philly at a small school called Eastern University and then transferred up to a small college on the North Shore of Boston called Gordon College, like down the street from Endicott, if you've heard of that.
I know Gordon. I refereed a Gordon game years ago.
What did you referee?
Yeah, ice hockey.
Oh.
Hence my hockey skills for the field hockey team when we played, what was it, Powder Puff games?
I had 2 girlfriends that I might have been there watching. I had 2 girlfriends that dated hockey players. So we would go.
Oh, yeah, you might have. That would have been around the time. I feel like they were a club team, but I'm no longer doing the college game. I still got my fake teeth, but it's not about me and my teeth in my athletic career. It's about yours. So you were a rock star field hockey player. No, so you went back to Gordon, but if I have my timeline right, you got sick in college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like beginning of my senior year of college, I started to experience some symptoms. So yeah, I was having a lot of just like stomach issues and like weird pain throughout my body. I was having like, I guess what they call brain fog. So I was just having trouble concentrating in school, and my memory was just like not always there. And then towards the end of my senior year, I was out on a run with a few people and got really, really lightheaded to the point of almost passing out. And simultaneously, my sister had been diagnosed either that same year or the year before, I can't remember, with Lyme disease as well. And so some of my symptoms were kind of lining up with hers. I had gone to my primary care doctor, and I was telling her all these symptoms I was having, and I was also really lethargic and all of these things. And I had been a high school and collegiate athlete. And my doctor said, you have all the symptoms of Lyme disease, but they tested me and it came back negative. So she was like, you don't have Lyme disease. And they had tested me for like IBD, fibromyalgia. They were trying to kind of put whatever diagnosis they could on me. And then end of my senior year, I went to a Lyme specialist in Boston, and it was there that she ended up giving me a test. The tests that they used at the primary care doctor's offices at the time were only like around 70% accurate, which is kind of crazy looking back. But Lyme disease there wasn't a lot of awareness around it at that time. Some people thought it was all mental, like it wasn't actually, even though it's a tick bite. There was kind of like what they called like the Lyme war on like whether it was an actual thing or not. But there was a test that was created out in California that was up to like 90% accurate. So I got that test done, and was diagnosed with Lyme, Bartonella, and Babesia. So I had like Lyme and then 2 co-infections. And so I didn't like that doctor that diagnosed me. She had not great bedside manner. So I ended up, it's wild, like how connections happen, but I nannied for a family after my senior year. I lived with them for two or 3 months that summer, worked at a coffee shop, nannied, and up in Manchester by the sea. And the mom's sister, so the aunt, had Lyme disease. And she had seen this doctor up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, a naturopath who helped her. So I started going to see that naturopath as well. And he worked with me kind of all the way up until the end. But he had tried me on like a bunch of different natural remedies. I was trying a bunch of different vitamins and tried some medications. But my first job out of college was as a one-on-one aide to a 5th grade boy with Down syndrome. And by like December of 2010, 2014, the year that I graduated from college, I was like missing so much work. I just couldn't get out of bed for days, and was really, really struggling. Mm-hmm. And so they decided that they wanted to put me on IV antibiotics. And then after like 2 months of living with them, it was difficult just because I had been out of the house for so many years at that point. I was pretty independent, and it was hard to depend on them.
That's when Lena comes into play.
And so then Lena and Alicia, they were still living down the street from my parents at that point. Lena had her own apartment with her 2 girls, and Alicia was living with them. And they just took me right in and let me stay with them for almost, I think it was around 2 months. Yeah. So
how was it living with them? I mean, that's a little bit different than living with your parents, but
I mean, it was fun.
what kind of hijinks were you getting into?
Yeah, no, it was like living with roommates and then just having like 2 really sweet girls like bopping around too, like her kids. Her kids are so cute. Yeah, and you guys know Alicia as well?
I don't think I've actually met Alicia.
No, we're only lucky enough to know Lena.
So I would say like Lena's really spicy and Alicia's really sweet. So Alicia, not that Lena isn't sweet. She's just like, she's spicy. I don't know how else to say it. But Alicia.
Do we have like a Sour Patch Kid situation where like we got a sweet and a sour one?
I mean, again, Lena housed me, so I can't say anything bad about her. But Alicia has.
I think she would admit it though.
It's great. I love it. It's yeah. But Alicia just has like the biggest heart and is just super, super sweet. So yeah, living with both. I mean, they both again took me in at a very critical point in my life, and I'm just, so grateful to both of them. And Lena's kids are the cutest. And she was a great mom too. It was really cool kind of watching her go through all of that and and see her grow in that way too.
So Lena mentioned that you really struggled at this time, though. It was hard for you to like move around, get up and down stairs. So while you're living, I'm guessing this is while you're living with her, and maybe when you're with your parents too, like Lyme disease took a lot from you, like your mobility. You couldn't get around either.
Yeah, for the first like 3 months at my parents, I was sleeping until like 11 or 12. Like my normal daily routine was like I slept until like 11 or 12. Sometimes couldn't get out of bed, and my mom would just bring like food up to my bed or like to the bedside, or I would maybe get out of bed for like an hour or two and then get either lay on the couch for most of the day or back in bed. And then I was, usually back in bed by like 7 or 8 p.m. I think like feeling lethargic was one of the main symptoms. I also got really bad pain in the soles of my feet, which was part of one of the co-infections.
Oh.
The Babesia like hit my gut really bad. So I would get really bad stomach pain, and then the Bartonella hit my joints and then like the soles of my feet. So that also made it just like really hard to walk at times.
So you mentioned you had to do an IV treatment for this. How often did you have to get that? And it was an at-home treatment, you said, right?
So I had a PICC line in my arm for 9 months straight.
Ooh.
And then I would go and I had to me and my dad learned how to like clean it daily. And every day I had these like pumps that I would basically hook up to it of IV medication. We would get them shipped in like these massive boxes. Yeah. And I would hook the pump up, and then I had to do that at least once a day, if not twice a day as well. Once I was like a little more mobile in like April, May, I would go down to like a local coffee shop at times, and Alicia and Lena would meet me there too. And I would just sit there and like just to get out of the house. But I'd sit there and journal and just,
So if your parents were helping you, your mom was bringing you food, your dad was helping with your PICC line, what did they think when you moved in with Lena and her sister? Were they like, you're crazy? You have this disease and you need our help. How are they going to help you? They're young mothers and they got kids, or were they just like, get out of the house?
I think they were more like, get out of the house, honestly. My parents are wonderful people. My dad, as you said, was a pastor. But it was hard for them too, because I was their last child. I'm the youngest of 4. So, and they always had this like set, like unspoken rule that once you leave for college, like you don't move back in with them. Like they want their peace. And so I think for me, it was like, I was out of the house. They were super stoked. And then I was like, oh, just kidding. Like I'm back, and more dependent than even like when I was in high school. So I think they were okay with me, with having a break from me.
They're like, we already repurposed your bedroom. It's now the hot tub room and the sauna. You can't come back. Your room's gone.
Basically, yeah.
You had the PICC line. What was the plan to find recovery or to find just to get back to normal? What was the plan? Did you have a plan with your doctors, or were you just hoping eventually you'll get better?
Yeah, so we didn't really, at that point, it was really taking it like day by day, week by, because my symptoms were all over the place, and I could have like one great day and then like 2 bad weeks. You really just didn't know. So at that point, I was kind of just taking it like day by day. And then around like the end of May, beginning of June, I got a call from I had worked a couple summers at this resort camp up in upstate New York. And I actually, fun fact, dated the CEO's son for like 2 months. So I knew him. I was close to the family. But they had called me and they're like, oh, are you going to come back and work here this summer? This was at like the end of May. And I was like, nope, like I'm really sick. I have a PICC line. And I honestly can't even remember how the conversation came about, but I said something to the extent of like, I wish I could because I need money. Like I was almost had blown through my savings at that point on all this IV antibiotics and was still paying off school loans and all this stuff. And I ended up getting a call back from the CEO, basically saying like, we have a nurse on site. If you need to come here, like we'll work with you, to work for us and make money. So that was like, again, another just like incredible connection that I had. So I ended up going to upstate New York with the PICC in my arm. I was more mobile at that point. This was like mid-June, and ended up I was like in a waitressing job, and then they gave me extra work so that I could make extra money. They really poured into me a lot there. And then
That's awesome.
At the end of that summer I had, they were trying me on, I was kind of like status quo at that point. Like I wasn't the worst I'd been, but I wasn't really getting better. And they tried to put me on a new antibiotic and I had an allergic reaction to it. This was about like 9 months at that point. It was like August, September. And we were up in the middle of nowhere in New York and they almost had to airlift me to a hospital because my oxygen levels were dropping. I just like completely passed out. And then, but they rushed me to like the local ED. I was there for 2 or 3 days and they ended up taking the PICC line out because they were just like, it's been in your arm for way too long. It had been like 9 months at that point.
I was hoping you were going to tell us that you had some good news, why it was 9 months instead of that. So,
Yeah.
So at this point, 9 months later, you're still not doing great, but this allergic reaction kind of set you back.
Right. So I had that and then went back to the drawing board with my naturopath, put me on more like vitamins and just like natural remedies. And from there, it was like a slow progression better, actually. It was a crazy like few months, but that was in August, September of 2015. And then I would say by like January of 2016, I was like back to like pretty functioning. Like I wasn't like out running multiple miles or anything, but I was like walking around working. I was doing pretty good. And at that point,
at this point, you were never a runner yet.
No. So funny story, my senior year. So I played basketball throughout my junior year of college. And then I was just like burnt out. I had been playing since I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to play anymore. And I was at a very small D3 school. Like sports were none of our teams were good. I did walk on. So my roommate one of my roommates wanted to walk onto the track team. So I told her I would walk onto the track team with her. But then I think I competed in maybe one meet because I was having all these symptoms. So I didn't really, I barely practiced with them. So it's kind of funny because in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, I played a year of college or I ran a year of college track. But I didn't really. And I had done 1 half marathon.
Still count it.
Yeah. And I did 1 half marathon my junior year of college, but it was like, I was not good. I was just doing it again with that same roommate. Yeah. So I wouldn't say I had done some running, but I wasn't like a runner, but I had said to friends at the time when I was going through all the Lyme, I said, if I get better from this, I'm going to run a marathon. And that was just like something
And that's where it began.
Yeah.
That was the start. That was the birth to this crazy running addiction you have.
It's true. Yeah.
It's been a while. We haven't talked about it. Let's get into running. So you decided, you're like, when I do this, we're going to run a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
At what point after your diagnosis and everything was this thought of running a marathon?
So I was diagnosed, in 2014. And then I thought about signing up for a marathon like end of 2016. And then started training in like February of 2017. And then ran my first one. I ran the Cape Cod Marathon in, I think it was October of 2017.
So you're still here on the East Coast. You didn't move west yet.
I had not moved. I was still in upstate New York, at the resort. So I stayed there full time after that summer. They offered me a job in their sales and marketing department. So I stayed there full time. And then a year and a half into working there, I started to get my master's online as well from Boston University in social work. Lots of different pieces.
Yeah, all over.
Like a diagram.
I can think of the Charlie Kelly, It's Always Sunny. It's like thing. Yeah, anyway.
I thought it was Charlie Day.
I think it's Charlie Kelly in the show, but his name is Charlie Day. Anyways.
Yeah.
So what made you choose the Cape Cod Marathon as your first?
Honestly, actually, my friend who I ran the half marathon with, I did track with, she had a house on the Cape. And I just like was looking for one near Boston and just was like, oh, that'd be a cool place to go. I'll just go there. There really wasn't like a lot of thought behind it other than that. Cause I wasn't like into marathons yet. So I wasn't like, I should do, like, I'd never heard of the Big Six. I was just like, oh, I'll just go. I really, at that time, honestly, probably thought I was like one and done. There was no like, oh, I'm going to keep doing this. But then after I ran the Cape Cod Marathon, again, I don't know what within me, but there was something that was like, oh, well, now I need to run Boston, because growing up, we had always watched the Boston Marathon. And then I learned that you had to qualify like very quickly. So I was like, all right, I'm going to qualify. So then I picked a marathon. My second marathon was this tiny marathon in Hingham, Mass. And you ran around this park 10 times. It was like, or however many, it was like 8 to 10 times.
That sounds like your kind of race, Erica.
I like the laps. I like the loops. I like the laps.
Yeah, it was like, so I ended up qualifying I got 3:33. That I went from 4.
Whoa, your second marathon.
To 3:33. And then that was the year that I know they did it this past year too, but that was the first year that they had to cut back because too many people applied.
Oh.
So then they cut it back to 3:30. So I was devastated. And then,
oh no.
But then like 2 months before the Boston Marathon, I worked for one of my multiple side jobs was working for Equinox, the gym in Boston. And they were putting a team together like last minute to run it. So one of them like reached out.
Pick me.
Yeah, they were like, do you want to run it? And I was like, absolutely. So I ended up still getting to run it with them, which is cool.
So hold on. Cape Cod Marathon.
Yeah.
What was your time at Cape Cod?
It was close to like 4:20, like 4:19, 4:18. Yeah.
And how many months from that point until the Hingham 10 Loop Marathon?
It was less than a year. I don't know how many months, but it was less than a year.
Oh, good job.
So what did you do in that year from like, say, day one of training for Cape Cod and then to the Hingham? What were you doing for training? Were you like, just Cape Cod, I'm just going to train and run some miles and do a marathon? And then you like got the bug and you're like, okay, let's get a coach or let's do hard hit workouts.
She honed her natural talent, because that's what it sounds like. She just had to get there, and you certainly did.
Yeah, so Cape Cod, I actually got into a car accident mid running it up in New York. So
Wait, in the race?
No, sorry. While I was training, sorry, not mid.
Oh my
God! I meant to say mid training. That would be a plot twist.
Like, holy shit!
I thought you were saying you got hit by a car in the race. That's why my time was only 4 hours.
No. Sorry, mid training.
Those Massachusetts drivers, they suck, mass holes.
Oh my God.
We're not going to make friends on this podcast.
They're worth it.
Go ahead. So
wait, you got into a car accident while driving.
Into a car accident, blew out my back completely. So at that point, I was just like, I don't even think I would have been that much faster anyways. Like I was kind of just very casually training for, like, my point was my goal was just to finish the marathon for Cape. And then for Boston, I mean, I know I followed a 3 or 4 month plan. Like I was like pretty on point with it. I also had my boyfriend at the time run the last 5 miles, like pace me the last 5 miles. So he knew like what time I was at and was able to push me towards the end, which is good.
So he was good for one thing then.
Honestly, that boyfriend, yeah, that was all he was good for. And he could be listening to this and I still wouldn't care saying that.
Shout out to John from the Cape. Masshole.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just kidding. His name's not John, it's James. We know who you are. So you did the Hingham and you just missed it because of the buffer and how that changed. And we've talked about that before on the pod. But then you got to do it through another group and you got to run Boston. So Boston was your third marathon. You still at this point, you don't know about the majors.
So I learned about the majors. I was sitting on the bus with other Equinox people driving out to the start line. And the girl I was sitting next to was like, oh, are you going for the majors? And I was like, what are the majors? And she's like, oh, Boston, Chicago, New York. And I was like, yeah. I think I'm going to go for it. Like I had no idea, but I'm very competitive. So as soon as she said it, I was like, okay, yeah. Just like very naturally.
Like put me down, coach.
Yeah.
But you got the hard one out of the way though. So like that's usually the one that holds a lot of people up if they're going for those. Yeah. So that's awesome. Go Equinox.
Tell us about your Boston Marathon experience. What year was it? Was it your only one? Mm-hmm. Is it true what they say about the tunnel in oh God, what's the town? The Wellesley Tunnel.
The Scream Tunnel. Mm.
Oh, like with all the fans? Honestly, so it was emotional because, again, I grew up going to the Boston Marathon and my dad was there to watch me. And so it was like it had come full circle because growing up, I would go with him to watch and we would cheer our family friends and stuff running it. But I don't like love the course of the Boston Marathon. And it's not even because I think it's hard. It's just like all the other New York, Chicago, they actually go through the cities. In Boston, you're starting so far out. And I also was a little disappointed that I didn't think Heartbreak Hill was that hard.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that.
I think that people put a lot more like emphasis on it than needs to be.
Or you're just a badass athlete, Abby. You're a badass athlete who multi-talented, and you're like, this hill has nothing on me. My heart will not be broken today.
Yeah, but no, it was. I ran it in 2018. It was. I mean, the finishing picture of me crossing the finish line, I'm in tears because I was so emotional.
The two of you ran it together.
I ran it 18 too.
Oh,
the poster right behind me, that's the Boston poster. Your name is going to be on the same side as mine, so I should take a picture for Eric later and he could post it. But we have so much in common. But
I know. In the relay races too, I didn't want to like jump ahead earlier, but I've gotten into relay races this past year, so I was like, oh. Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm like, this is great.
You two are best friends already.
This is about Abby today. So let's talk more about you.
So Boston was cool. That day was awful weather, right? It rained like 5 inches.
It rained at the finish. Like as I was finishing, it started raining for me.
I started later. I was a charity runner. So I started at like 11 o'clock and I got screwed.
Yeah, I remember as I finished, I was like bawling and it was raining and I was like, I need to get out of here.
Well, that kind of puts a damper on your finish too, because you don't really get to enjoy what you just did. You're like, ew, this weather is gross. It's cold. I need to get warm and dry. And so that takes away from the experience a little bit.
Yeah, if we could just plan the weather better, it would be a more fun experience.
Come on.
The year before was when it like downpoured the entire morning. I think that was the year before, 2017 or 16.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I was like,
I know one of those years was hot. They had a hot year. One of those. It was either 16 or 17, but.
So is this your only Boston Marathon, 2018?
It is, and I almost signed up for 2024, but it's the week before London, and I have like my most toxic trait is that I will just sign up for any race. Like I'm always down, and
God, you are Erica.
So similar.
So I just bring it in. I like texted my friend. I was like, I'm gonna do Boston, and he was like, but you're doing London. I was like, I'm gonna do both, and he was like, I think you should just focus on London. And I was like, okay. And now
here's my thing. I've never run any of the world majors.
Okay.
But I think Boston's pretty awesome. Erica as well, just like you, like you two should be best friends. Boston's not her favorite. She's only run it in 2018 as well.
Chicago's my favorite. I have like 3 posters.
Because she's had great weather at Chicago. So I just think the two of you need to give Boston another shot and get a great weather day. And I think your opinions are going to change because Erica's been vocal on the pod too, saying Boston's not her favorite. And I'm like, geez, girl, you're from Boston. This is a Boston area podcast.
He hasn't experienced any of the other ones yet. He has his name in for Chicago coming up in 2024. So
I heard that. I was listening to your last podcast with, what was her name? Jennifer?
Jen Steele.
Yeah. She's from California too. So I was like, I represent.
So this is 2018. You got the bug and you're now running marathons. You've done 14. You have 5 of the majors already. Outside of the majors, tell us about some of your favorite marathons, maybe some of your worst marathons or any fun experiences or bad experiences you've had over the years.
So 2020, I was supposed to run Tokyo and then COVID happened.
Oh yeah.
And I was devastated because I had this whole 2-week trip planned with my boyfriend at the time. And so so
he's gone too. No longer any good.
Yeah, but he's great.
That was Steve. We don't like Steve.
No, we like Steve. Steve's good.
Okay.
But so so I found out I didn't get into Tokyo. I was devastated. And so he immediately started looking up other because I had trained. So he was looking up other marathons that were happening. This was just at the beginning of COVID because it started over there. And so he found Napa Valley Marathon out here actually on the West Coast. So we had already taken the time off work, everything. So he basically created like a whole coastal tour vacation. So started in LA, drove up the coast in a convertible, ran the Napa Marathon, and then drove back down to San Diego, visited some friends. And so that was definitely a memorable marathon. And that was my PR at the time. Chicago had been my PR, and then Napa was my new PR, which was, I think, 3:26:46 at the time. So,
excellent.
yeah. And it was beautiful. It was very like peaceful. There were not a lot of people running it. So that was probably one of my favorites outside of the majors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wine country, right?
Wine country. Yeah. I had a lot of wine that day. You'd think after all these marathons, I'd learn like you shouldn't just go out and drink a bunch after you run because like, of all the calories.
What is your pregame and your postgame meal and drink? Like we know some people who are really serious about it and they watch what they eat and drink. And then we know some of these marathon runners who go out there and they freaking win marathons.
Yeah.
And the night before they drink beer and they have buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah, no, I'm more anal about like pre and post. So the night before I'll typically have like pasta or even like rice and chicken or something. And then the morning of, I always have to have oatmeal. So I have oatmeal with like a little bit of protein powder in it. And then my favorite post-run meal, no matter what, is a burger. I don't know why. It's just like so satisfying.
Yeah, burger's good.
Yeah.
They hit. Oh, so good.
When I was in Tokyo, actually, I wanted a burger so bad, and I ended up going to Shake Shack in Tokyo for my post. Yeah.
I think I did something similar to that because I was so tired after Tokyo that I just went up to like the hotel bar and I think I had like a giant beer and a burger because it really does hit the spot. I don't know what it is. Just extra protein, the grease. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I usually, again, you'd think I'd learn, but I usually drink a lot after the race too because I'm just excited.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need to learn.
Berlin was cool because I went to Oktoberfest the day after.
Nice.
So did you figure out what you needed to eat and drink pretty quickly, or was that like a trial and error type of thing?
Kind of. I feel like I figured it out kind of quickly, but a year ago out here, I got a nutrition coach for 3 months just because I was trying to become a better runner, a better athlete. And she definitely helped a lot with like, not even just like the day before, but like the 3 days before, looking at my macros. And so I would say just in really the last year, I've like honed in more on the nutrition piece, even more so than before.
That is something that I have not nailed. So I might look into a nutrition coach also.
If you want one, let me know. Set you up.
Yeah, shout them out. I need some info.
Matt Johnson in Austin, Texas. Highly recommend him for nutrition coaching.
Excellent.
So you do it virtually then? You have like a virtual nutrition coach?
So he's actually coaching me right now for my 100-miler. And he's a virtual coach. Yeah.
So he's coaching you for food, or is he coaching like your running plan?
Right now he's coaching me for my running plan.
Okay. Because we can get into ultras. Erica does ultras for the food and the snacks, and you were dabbling. I'm getting really ahead here. You just did your first ultra, and you have another one coming up. And a lot of people we know who do ultras, they just eat real food during the race. They're not doing gels and blocks. Like, let's jump right in. Ultras. Your first 50-miler. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was kind of like not last minute, but very much a spur of the moment decision, which is, I hate to admit this, but I'm kind of an impulsive person. I don't know, but it also makes life exciting, so it's fine, I guess.
There you go.
So in July, I just very kind of, I just decided I was going to run an ultra, and I found one in the fall. The ultra that I was doing was from Norco, California, which is out in like the middle of nowhere, all the way to Huntington Beach. So it's actually a road ultra too, which is very uncommon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You have my attention. Trails are not really my friends. They're not nice to me. So road ultras are awesome.
I was like, I don't really feel like, I mean, I have plenty of trails out here, but I was just like, I don't really want to deal with like that for the first time running a bunch of miles. And I had done a couple of relay races on the road. So so I decided to sign up, and it's a super, super small ultra. Like I think there ended up being maybe a little over 50 of us total that ran it. And then I think 10 additional people that did they did out and back. They did 100 miles. Yeah. So, but yeah, figuring out the nutrition for that was really interesting. That was like a trial and error for all my long runs leading up to it. I like was trying those like Lenny and Larry's protein cookies and chomp sticks and all of those things. And then in addition to gels. But it's funny because I was thinking about like, I was like, what's like my oh shit moment? Like with running. And that happened during my 50 miler for sure. It was a little.
Let's hear it.
Spare no details.
Spare no details.
So, I mean, I stopped one time to change my shoes, and the rest of the time I was actually running. Like I surprised myself with the 50 miler. I did a lot better than I expected. Got sub 8. I was super, super happy.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Who are you? Who are you with Lyme disease and then just decides to run an ultra on a whim 2 months before in 8-hour 50 miler?
Yeah, I don't know. So, but at around like mile, it's funny because I had 4 pacers with me, and one of them was a friend of a friend, so I knew him the least. Great guy. His name's Ahmed. Shout out Ahmed. But he jumped in with me at like mile 30, and we're going along, and I was like, I need to use the bathroom so bad, and I need to find a bathroom. I'd been peeing on the side and like bushes and whatever. And we stopped in like 2 different gas stations, couldn't find something. I think we were trying to go to a hotel, like couldn't figure it out. Then finally I see a nail salon. So I'm like, at this point, like grimy, gross, like had my bib on running. I'm like, can I use your bathroom? And they were like, yeah. And he's out there like hyping me up while I'm in using their bathroom. Yeah. So the nail salon saved me completely. A few miles later, I was having issues again, and I was like ready to just like go on the side of the road, and then there was a cop car. So Ahmed was like, you can't go in front of the cop car. So we found a brewery, and I ran into the brewery, and everyone was like cheering for me, and they're like, and he was like, she's running 50 miles, and they're like, yeah, and I was like, gotta go use the bathroom. So yeah, poor Ahmed was like the only one, and then I was fine the rest of the race, but the guy I knew least, I was like struggling a lot. But yeah,
nothing brings you closer together than an almost like bathroom emergency.
It's so true. And now he just texted me the other day. We are close friends now, so it's great.
Good.
Didn't scare him away too much.
I find that ultras kind of have, you said it was a small race. The communities tend to be a little stronger there. The bond of that ultra community, I've learned. I haven't run one, but I've been there. I've been crewing and sherping these races for Erica from time to time. Like the anchor down community just seems to be so strong. And what's the one you just did? Hamster wheel community tends to be so strong. But I really felt it with anchor down. It just tends to be such a cool community. They all know, they all understand, they know what you're going through, they know what the experience. And then you got the people at the nail salon and the brewery like cheering you on too.
You know, my friend who's coaching me always says this, like, no one really runs an ultra unless they're like have some sort of, fucked up past or fucked up something that they're going through. And I feel like we're all just like a little fucked up. All of us that run.
I say that a lot. I'm like, I've got a screw loose or something. There's got to be like something just off, but I don't want to totally admit it.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel normal enough.
To go run all these miles, but I agree with you, Eric. Like the community has been incredible. And it's funny because moving out here, I knew one person who's my roommate. And I was like kind of at a point a year ago when I was like, I wasn't like lonely, but I also was like, I'm not really making community. Like, I don't really know. And that's when I got the nutrition coach. Cause I was like, I'm just going to like hone in and like, just focus on me. It'll be fine. And I kind of like I was like, I'm just going to be open to opportunities. And I was training for Berlin, and I was running down on the beach here in Santa Monica. And out of nowhere, this woman just runs up to me, and she was like, hey, you look really fast. Like I'm running a relay from LA to San Diego in a month. Like, do you want to join our team? And I had no idea. Like, I was just like, who are you and where did you come from? But again, impulsive me. I was like, yeah, like, let me get your phone number.
What's your name, by the way?
Yeah, like honestly, I knew nothing about this woman, knew nothing about the team or the race. So she gave me her phone number, gave me her Instagram, thought about it for a day, and I texted her and was like, I'm in, sign me up. So met an amazing group of people through that, got connected. They connected me to CrossFit because they were like, you look really strong. Like, you should get into this. And then it was through that I also met my team captain for the Speed Project. If you guys have heard of that, the race.
Yeah, we've talked. We know about it.
Yeah. So
we had
this year too.
Yeah, we had Bex Gentry on the other day, and she's talking all about Speed Project, and she was like, "This is the best race ever." Or I should be like, she was like, I can't do a British accent, but she was basically saying in a British accent, "This is the best race. I love the Speed Project." That's my accent. It's terrible.
Glowing reviews.
I'm sorry, Bex.
It's so fun. Yeah.
No, we know about the Speed Project. So wait, you did the Speed Project?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did that this past year, and almost all, except for Ahmed, everyone else that crewed me were from the Speed Project. So it is just like crazy how, the running community works. But they're still some of my closest friends. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a small world. What so cool. So cool. So this girl asked you to do the race. That was not the Speed Project race, though. That relay.
No,
What
it was
that
another. It's like another smaller relay that I've done it 3 times now. They run in the spring from LA to Palm Springs, and then in the fall from LA to San Diego. But it's similar. It's like a mini Speed Project, kind of. Yeah.
So back to Lena. I'm trying to think, how did we meet Lena the first time? Because I think we met her at a Ragnar relay. Or was it before? But she loves the Ragnar relays. She's all into the Ragnar relays, and we've done them with her.
Too. I remember she was like getting her like 4 or 5, and I was like, "You go, girl!" Like, she was crushing it, getting her 4 or 5.
Yeah, she really is. Her and Jenna and their whole team, and there's another girl, Laura. Do you know who Laura is? I think it's their cousin.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do actually. I know who she is.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how. Oh, we met them on St. Patty's Day, or at the St. Patty's Half Marathon. That was it.
That's right. And then
Shamrock Half.
Then, is this 2022 though? Because I'm like, she just showed up to my race last year, but that was 2023.
It was 2022.
So, oh, wow. That's right.
That's how we met her, because she was with my friend Jenna. They went and did the race together, and that's how I met her. And I think Laura at the same time. Yes. Oh,
that's awesome.
Love this community.
Yeah, it's the best. Honestly, I should credit Lena for giving me inspiration while I was laying on the couch and she was out going for runs. So she inspired me.
She's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I owe her a podcast appearance, because we're going to have her on after the first Reach the Beach we all did. And then for some reason we had to postpone. And when you and I recorded just like at 11 p.m. one day, and I was like, I'll get you on one day. But she's more worried about getting her friend Abby on and to hear Abby's story, because she's like, you need to have Abby. Her story is amazing. So
I was going to say,
but
Lena would be great at a podcast. She's funny.
We'll get her in person, and we're just going to give her drinks and get her drunk, and then everything will come out. We'll get all the stories.
I love it.
Everybody knows I have a dream to do like a drunken podcast, just because, I don't know, not everybody has to drink, but if you do drink, it just loosens you up a little bit. Things start to flow easier. You have more fun. And so, I don't know. I think it would be kind of fun to record it and see what comes out.
A post-marathon drinking podcast.
Exactly. That sounds fantastic. I'll bring my mic for that.
Perfect.
So you teased it when Ashley Fleming came on. You have a 100-miler coming up.
Yeah.
So you went from last July thinking, I might do an ultra. Let's sign up for a 50. You do it in 8 hours with a couple bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
Now you're going to do a 100-miler, and your game plan, you're thinking sub 20 hours.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what's the pace of that? Like, what's your average pace if you're doing 120 hours? That's math that
I know.
My brain
I don't even know. I haven't even thought about it, but my pace for the 50-miler was, I was around between 9 and 9:30 for most of it, and then at mile 42, I knew I was in second place out of everyone, but they also had some relay people going on, so I was running with my final pacer, Twan, and I was I'd hit the pain cave at mile 40. I was had tears in my eyes. I was telling him about my childhood trauma. I was no one believed in me, and now I'm here, and I'm about to finish 50 miles. And then all of a sudden, we see a runner ahead, and I immediately stopped crying and was is that a runner? And he was yeah, but it might be a relay person. we don't know how far you are behind. And I was like, but what if it's not?
Coming for you.
I need to, again, I'm competitive. So I just like kicked it into gear, ended up passing him. So my last 8 miles were like between 8 and 8:30 minute pace. I don't know how I got that kind of energy, but
let that fuel, like that fire burn, like you are just motivated.
Yeah.
So a 20-hour 100-mile race, if you want to do it in 20 hours flat, that is a 12-minute per mile pace.
Okay. So
5 miles an hour, that makes sense. Math. But holy crap,
I did that on my own. I did not use the google.com.
I just think about how much I walk during mine that I cannot fathom doing it faster. But holy shit, if you could do...
So I'll report back afterwards. That's my goal.
Tell us about which one you picked, which one you have on deck. Is it trail? Is it road? Is it a mixture? Is it laps? It's
trail. Yeah, it is laps.
What's the name of the race?
Rocky Raccoon. Have you heard of it?
No, but it's cute.
That's where her brain goes.
It does,
that's a cute race. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, Erica.
You get a cute
I don't know if I'll go that far, but it just sounds cute. So
when you finish, instead of a belt buckle, you get a cute raccoon tail. I just want the tail.
Erica, what 100-miler did you do?
I did the Yeti 100 in Virginia back in September.
Okay. That's awesome. So what did was that trail?
That was it. It was on the Virginia Creeper Trail, and it was like a out and back and out again. So it was like 3 little laps of 33.33 miles. So it was not terrible. It was slightly technical trail just because it, like, I don't know, just rocks and some sticks here and there, some dirt. Totally manageable though. But I mean, how is yours? I want to know more about yours.
Yeah, so the 100-miler is trail, and I signed up for it honestly because my friend Matt Johnson was out here helping me prepare for the 50-miler, and we were sitting actually at this table where I'm at right now 2 days before, and he was like, girl, like, I think you should just sign up for a race now because you might not want to do it after the 50-miler, and I was like, yeah, you're right. So I signed up.
So you pulled the trigger on that before you...
Yeah, before my 2 days before my 50-miler. I was just like, all right, why not? So
he may have a thing going because that's kind of smart.
Yeah.
I was at a point in mine where I was so miserable where I'm like, I never want to do another race again. And of course that changed because you feel better and you're like, wow, I just did a huge thing. And so, but that is like a secret I think that more people should do. Just go for it before you even know what you're in for.
And that's how I make too many of my decisions. I'm like, I'll think about it later. Like, I'll just sign up for it now. So, I think it's a pretty popular race. But yeah, so it's like it's well known for being pretty flat. Like I said, it is trail, and it's a 20-mile loop. So we do it 5 times.
Yeah. It's a 20-mile loop. You got to do 5 of them. It doesn't look like it has that much elevation. There are some climbs, but you pretty much go from 300 feet to 380 feet back and forth at times. So no, it looks cool. It's in Texas.
It is in Texas.
It's in February, right?
Yeah.
February 3rd and 4th, Huntsville Park. Okay, we'll have to get you back for something we call OTR Live, where previous guests of the pod come on to tell us how their big thing they're training for went, and that is this. And that will be a lot of fun. Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, Texas. Man, this race looks cool. The Rocky Raccoon 100.
Yeah. So
under 20 hours, sub 20.
And then I'm actually the weekend after supposed to go pace and cruise some friends for their own ultra. So we'll see how I'm feeling, but yeah.
Fingers crossed you get out of this unscathed with no injuries and full of smiles and not hating running.
Yes.
That'll be the number one thing.
Yeah.
But I've done a lot of like loop races, but nothing close to that large of a loop, I guess, because I mean I didn't consider Yeti a real loop race, even though it kind of is.
And end in different places for Yeti.
Yep. So you went from it was called White Top Station. You ran down to Abington, and then you went back to White Top, back to Abington.
Okay.
So they shuttled everybody to the start, so you had kind of like your base camp down at the bottom, but it was interesting. So
Would you?
I'm thinking about it. I think next year I might do mostly more loop races. Like we have one here, the hamster wheel that he had mentioned, and those are 4-mile loops, and you have like your base camp and you just keep doing hamster wheels. And I really want to get that buckle just because it has like glowing red hamster eyes on it, and I'm like, I have to have this thing. So I'm gonna try my hand at those, just more local ones for a little bit, and see if I can really kind of hone in on the distance, because I don't feel super confident in it yet.
I have a rebuttal. I don't
Wow.
think you should do the loop races anymore.
Why?
Because the loops are so small. At one point, you're like, I hit 70 miles. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay. Versus your 100-miler you did. If you quit at mile 70,
I had to do it.
you had to. If you stopped at 70, you have to now find a ride to get back. Like
Okay, you do have a point there.
Yes, I do. I know how your brain works.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
agree.
I'm just done. I'm done at 70. And you're like, okay, I'm happy with that. No,
But how do you start that last lap when you're 80 miles in and you're like, goddamn.
You're just going to have to find out.
Mind game.
Or you're going to have to do a down and back 100-miler or
so
just a one-way.
that's something you can ask your coach. What kind of mind, like how do you get yourself out of that pain cave? How can you turn your mind off? How can you kind of just talk yourself into doing it when you really don't want to do it? See if he has any inside tips for you.
What is your best advice for that? Because you've done the 100-milers. So how did you, when you hit that point, how did you?
Well, hers was when she did her 100, it was, I have to keep going because what am I going to do?
Yes.
That was hers.
A tip for you would be try to hook up with somebody. Like if you have a pacer, I don't know if you're going to have pacers, but try to do that. I went through this by myself pretty much. I would try to find people who I would just kind of catch up to on the course. And if I could stick with them, cool. But if not, I would let them go. Try to find somebody who will stick with you, because that is just, it's so much different trying to do it on your own than if you have somebody, because it's just so much better with somebody. And especially somebody who's fresh, who can help you kind of stick to a pace that you want to stick to.
Yeah.
Because it was just me. I'm like, I'm just going to walk. That's the best I can do. And I didn't have that motivation to keep me going, really. And the math, like I can't do math like when I'm running anyways. I was messing with cutoffs and stuff. And I was like, I'm not going to make it. And it was like a total mind game there. Like I was psyching myself out of it instead of into it. And so just try to hone in on your mental game. Just believe you can do it, because you can. Like, holy shit, you can. And I have no doubt that you are going to crush this thing. Like, you're going to be fantastic. So just, if you can have pacers, just go for it. And even if you have to cycle them out and get somebody fresh each time, like that'll be awesome for you.
I'm shocked you didn't have pacers, honestly. That blows my mind. That's even more impressive.
I felt bad because I traveled for this race and I didn't want to inconvenience everybody except for my boyfriend. Like I kind of bribed him. I'm like, I'll pay for everything. Like you can just drive me back to the hotel after. I'm cool. Like I didn't even really make him like meet me places. I was just like, just be here at like, I don't know, like 10 o'clock and I'll hopefully be there around that time. So I just have that thing where I didn't want to put anybody out. But you have like your whole ultra community, and I need to get more ultra friends, I guess. Like
I was gonna say, hit me up next time you get a pacer. I'll come pace you.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
But I should even just come out your way and be like, hey, Abby, what you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to come run 15 miles and I'll be 85 of them in, and you can just make sure I don't cry and die and whatever. So, but yeah, utilize your community. That is the one thing I could say take away.
My advice would be from someone who's never run a 100-miler. I have done an Ironman, but never run a 100-miler. My advice is just keep moving. Don't take long breaks. And Erica mentioned her boyfriend, and she's like, meet me here at this time. One of my favorite parts of that story was the lady at the aid station went to you, Erica, and said, go. Stop talking to your boyfriend. She spent like 20 minutes there because she felt bad.
I felt bad. He came all the way down, was bored by himself, and I was just like hanging around. And so somebody literally had to be like, go. We'll be fine. We'll take care of your boyfriend. So yes, keep moving, because even if you're walking, it's distance.
Right.
So that's going to put you in a good spot.
And so after you do your 100, we won't have you back right away.
Okay.
Because you also have another big race after that. Let's get into the worlds. Let's go back to when you were on the bus going to the Boston Marathon and you learned about the world majors. And right now you have 5. So let's hear about those other world majors and what's on deck.
Yeah, so I did Chicago the year after Boston in 2019. And then I was supposed to do Tokyo 20.
Probably with Erica.
Probably.
That's the one year I didn't. That's the one year I didn't do it.
And then I did New York in 2021. Tokyo, I deferred to this past.
There.
You did? Okay. Gosh, we've crossed.
I had to do the 50th. I loved that one. That was a cool medal.
Did you get the gold jacket?
I didn't get the gold jacket. I think I got like a dark blue one, but it had some gold embellishments.
Okay.
But
I got the all gold one. I never wear it, but I was like, when am I ever gonna get an all gold jacket again?
Still pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I deferred Tokyo to this year, and then I ran. So 2023, I ran Berlin in 2022, and that's been my PR was Berlin. I got 3:19:58. So
that's so fast.
Yeah.
So Abby, I have been at 4 out of the 5 with you.
That's awesome.
Because I did. Yeah, I had Boston.
Each other.
I hate it that we didn't, because I feel like we could have had a lot of fun. Because now that you mention it, you said you did Oktoberfest right after Berlin.
I flew there to Munich.
Oh, no way. So when I went, I did 2022. I also did 2019. Yeah. That's why I skipped out on Chicago. But I kind of went back for redemption because I was injured. Oh. But we flew into Munich, spent a few days there. We did the Oktoberfest thing. We took a train to Berlin, did race for like 4 days, and then came back down to Munich from the train. So we didn't go hard with Oktoberfest, but we were there. Like I could have been there and not even like have noticed. It's crazy, but yeah, I did all of the same ones as you, except for your Chicago was 2019, and I did a few other years. So, but damn, that is super cool. But that means you have London left. So tell us about that plan.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Did you get in through lottery for London, Erica, or did you have to do charity? Yeah. So I feel like I don't know anyone that's gotten in through lottery. I feel like it's impossible
I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign up for the next London lottery and I'm going to get in. Watch. Honey, we're going.
So
I got to go to London.
I don't know anyone.
I feel like they play favorites to
podcasters.
No.
People like Eric.
to people from Great Britain, so they definitely get priority. And
I'll name drop Bex Gentry. I had her on the pod.
You try your best, man.
All the power to you. Can't like age or time qualify for either, because they only have that for
exactly.
It's nuts. Mm-hmm. So so I'm doing it for a charity. I'm doing it for Rays of Sunshine, which is, if you're familiar with like Make-A-Wish out here in the States, it's England's version of that. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So, and I worked in children's oncology for the first year that I was out here. So it has like a special place in my heart. Yeah. So I'm running with them, and it's the last weekend of April. So my goal is to get through this 100-miler, still incorporate some speed workouts as I'm training for the 100-miler, and then I have TSP at the end of March, so I'll do that really quick and then continue to focus on it.
Not a big deal. Holy cow. Wow.
Abby, I think you're actually like a step above me at this point. Like that's so many things stacked at once.
A step?
I'm impressed.
A step?
A couple steps? It's impressive though. Those are some awesome goals, and I mean, you're just going to crush them. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I
wow. a girl who could barely move about 10 years ago and get up the stairs and just was living on a couch and having her mom like probably hand feed her food every day is now out here running a marathon every month, ultra marathons, getting her world majors. And this year you have a goal of running 2,000 miles. And I'm kind of like, why not 2,023 miles?
Wait, that's such a good idea. I'm going to do that.
I just
a
added
couple
on to your
extra,
goal.
Abby, you're
Wait,
good.
that's
Just whatever.
incredible. I'm going to do that. I love that. I'm at like 19. I think I have to look at my Strava, but I'm around like 1950 right now. So.
Oh, you're golden. You're totally golden.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And this week I'm scheduled, even just this week, I'm scheduled to run, I think 70 something. So, but I hit my first.
She's going to bang this out like no problem.
Actually, as of last night, I hit my first 100-mile week ever. So that was exciting. I ran a marathon with a friend yesterday morning, and then I was at 93.99. And I texted my friend, and she was like, why don't you just run 6.01 more? And I was like, you're right. So last night, I went back out.
Oh, my God. See, yeah, you are up here. I'm like, I would be like, nah, I'll do that tomorrow. Like, just forget it. But yeah, it is a new week. I forgot.
Are you on a run streak?
No, I do take days off. Yeah.
Good.
I try to take care of myself. I have a physical therapist who's phenomenal. I see him like probably once every other week. He keeps my body in check, does like scraping and cupping and stretching and all of that.
Good.
Cupping. I've never tried cupping.
You should try it. It's actually very great.
What does it do? I see the pictures. I don't know what it does.
Like, where would you put it? Is it more for like your calves kind of thing, or just like do you do like your entire body?
Yeah, I do my legs and my back and my because I carry a lot of stress in my shoulders with my job too. So yeah, so
understandable.
Yeah, so I have it on my legs and my back. But he'll cup and then he'll slide, like scrape, and it hurts really bad. But
so he's moving the cup down your back and it's scraping.
Yeah, and he'll do that on my legs too, like down my hamstrings. It's very painful, but I swear it works. Yeah.
Oh, I want to try it.
All right, Eric, you go ahead and be the guinea pig for the two of us. Because I mean, he likes
doing. I want to hear about your cupping experience.
What was the other thing I was supposed to do? Oh, the earwax thing, the candling, right? Was that it? No, it was the nose wax.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
You know how you can just like wax your nose hairs? Like you just stick like a thing in your nose and just yank?
I never. That sounds so painful.
You want to do it with me?
Maybe.
I forget who it was. Oh, it was Sherry. No. Another California guest was talking about it. And yeah.
Sherry's yeah, she told him, and I'm like, I get to yank. Just let me yank it out. That's all I want to do.
We have to go to California and meet you, Sherry, Jen Steele, anyone else we know out there. My brother's up in the Napa area, and then we'll do the wax pulling there. And I'll get the candle thing in my ear too.
And cupping.
And cupping.
He's gonna be in a bad way after all this. Like he's gonna hurt everywhere.
He's gonna come back with like bruises. Your wife's gonna be like,
"What happened to you, man? What happened?"
Man.
I love it. And then I'll do my ice bucket challenge or my ice bath.
Or just jump in.
Go jump in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go jump in the Pacific Ocean. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my God. This happens all the time. We're all over the map. I think we've covered most things. So I'm going to hit you up with a few things here. Tell me about maybe a future dating app we can make and how you came up with this concept.
So I've now, as of yesterday morning with the marathon that I ran.
You met another guy on the run.
I've had 2 experiences now where I've started meeting guys as a potential date. We've gone on a date or 2. I've decided it's like not meant to be, but then they'll still ask me for running advice or like ask me to run with them. And one of them is actually still a good friend of mine. He and I ran the Leadville Marathon together last summer.
Cool.
It's like a whole, different experience. Or this past summer. And then, I went a year ago, I went on a hinge date with a guy out here, one of 3 hinge dates I've ever been on in my life. And he actually is
What's a Hinge date?
Hinge.
Is that like a blind date?
No, Hinge is an app, a dating app. You don't know what Hinge is?
Oh, I have no clue. No.
I've never been on the dating apps either.
So this
Erica's
is-
been with her boyfriend
Ugh.
for 20 years, and I'm married with 3 kids. I have
God.
no clue what Hinge is.
So Hinge, Bumble. I think those are like the two. I've only been on Hinge once in my life when I first moved out here because I was trying to make friends / maybe find a boyfriend.
No one uses Tinder or like eHarmony or what was the other one? Match.com.
I feel like eHarmony and Match are for like older people.
Are they
right?
dead?
I think
Okay.
they're still there.
So it's Hinge now. It's
Tinder, I
Hinge.
guess people use, but I've never been on it. Yeah, but Hinge is like the main one now that people are on. So I matched with this guy like a year ago, and then we went on one date, and it was fine. But then he works at the same hospital I do, so we run into each other all the time. And he was supposed to run CIM, the California International Marathon, yesterday. And again, like, it's not like we never talk, but like we very rarely talk. And I get a text on Friday night from him, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing on Sunday?" And I'm like, "Is he trying to ask me on a second date?" Like a year later.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you want to run a marathon with me?" Like, I was supposed to go up to Sacramento, and now I can't. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like, I need to get my miles in anyway.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so we ran.
So you met these guys on an app. You didn't meet them running. I thought you met people running, and then you went on a couple dates.
So yeah, no, I met on an app. The other guy I was waitressing, and he was one of my people. He was at the table I was waitressing at. So
were your first dates runs then? Or was it like,
No.
I go running, let's go running together, and then you call it a date? Or
no, they both took me out to dinner, which is nice. But and then it just like naturally came up in conversation. So yeah. But I do think there's something to be said, because even like I think about I do have a lot of like male friends in the running community that are single, and there has to be something with like running and dating. I don't know. I have to put more
I
thought
feel
into
like
It
if
could be
I
a-
had to get back into the dating scene, that is how I would want to do it. Because
Yeah.
you don't have to make eye contact. You can just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
And then if all else fails, you can make it a very short run.
Yeah. And you can eat snacks.
I know of a way.
You can eat snacks with them.
Yes, always with the snacks.
While you're
Yes,
running.
that's a good enticing point.
This has been a lot of fun. We have so much to talk about. So promise me you'll come back on after you do your 100-miler in London and get your 6-star. We'll do an OTR live. So we do that live on YouTube. We have about 12,000 people watching live at a time. So don't be nervous.
I was like, that makes me nervous.
That's a lie. We might be lucky if we've
We have
had 12 all
5
time.
We'll have Lena, Ashley, and maybe there's
Oh,
I don't know.
because of them, it might be our most live viewed OTR
You're
live.
right.
So when we talk, then we can get into endorphins and the run club you started in LA. I would love to hear all about that. All right, so we do we do these 2 last big questions. I'm going to share my screen here, and I go creeping. We talked about this earlier. We like to creep. I go creeping on your Instagram, and I find a photo. So you didn't have a lot of photos on there, but I did find one from 173 weeks ago.
173 weeks.
So 173 weeks ago,
Beautiful.
you went hiking on the Franconia Ridge Loop, one of my favorite hikes in the world.
Yeah.
This is you. Is this Lena's sister, by the way?
No, it's not. Her name's Chrissy. She's another good
All right.
friend. Yeah.
So I want to ask you actually more so about what you wrote. You go, "We didn't bring an extra layer for the summit, but we had extra mangoes, dates, cashews, 5 vegan wraps, 4 granola bars, 3 extra wool socks, and 4 Nalgene's of water. So we were prepared."
And a partridge in a pear tree.
But you didn't have extra layers for the summit, and it can get cold and windy up there. Tell me about this day and that hike with your friend Chrissy. And do you wish you were more prepared?
Yes, definitely. But funny story with that. We met these 2 guys on the summit who let us borrow.
And you went on a date with them.
No, but we should have. But they let us borrow their jackets for the whole, like, they
Aw.
didn't even hike right next to us. They kind of like hung out behind us and let us wear their jackets until we got up the summit. I think we looked like we were struggling a little bit.
Aw.
So
Well, I guess the New Hampshire hiking community is pretty awesome too. I just added to the list of awesome stuff going on.
Yeah.
We're just doing what we can to keep you off the news of someone else was rescued off of that hike.
Yeah, so I did all 46 of the high peaks in the Adirondacks, and I think I have 43 out of the 48 done. I have one range left for New Hampshire. I need to get back out there and do this. Yeah. But
You're a skier too. I saw that. You're a big skier.
I'm not a big skier, but I do own skis and I can ski, but I'm not very good.
So you should ski Tuckerman's. You've hiked Washington. You've probably gone up Tuckerman's Ravine, right?
Yeah.
In the wintertime, everyone goes there and they ski it.
Oh.
Add it to your list.
Dangerous? Like, I feel like people also die on Washington.
Yes, it is dangerous. It's also epic.
That's why I'm like, you don't see me going up there.
Yeah.
Or any mountain. I'm not a skier, so
yeah.
I would hike, but not ski.
Yeah. I'm trying to get out to like Tahoe this winter.
So yeah, always be prepared when you go hiking. Because it gets cold up there, but you know that because you have a few more to go on your 4,000 footers.
Yeah. Yes.
When you do it, you should let us know when you come back because that would be fun.
I'll
go for a hike. That's a good excuse to get me to go to the mountains.
Perfect.
Well, it would be fun to meet you and grab a drink or a food or whatever, but it would be more fun to go hiking or go skiing with you.
That would be so fun.
Sandwich at Biederman's.
we could pack sandwiches in Biederman's for our hike.
Yes. Love it. Lena, you're coming with.
Yeah, Lena's coming too. I love that.
Well, that was my big question. Erica has her big question too. So I'll let Erica take over here.
My turn. I'm so excited. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we have an epic Spotify playlist and it has been revamped. Yeah. See what I did there?
I hope it's been revamped.
It used to be like 24 hours long and it's got a lot of stuff, but the new and improved Spotify playlist for On the Runs. We like to invite our guests to add a song to it, and it could be anything that you're feeling at the moment, something that just pumps you up. Would you like to add a song?
I would love to add a song. So one of my favorite songs to run to is called Bayana. Have you heard of it by Bakermat?
No, I don't think so.
Eric's looking at me like I have 5 heads. It's really good. Eric, you should, after this podcast, go listen to it.
We're going to listen to it together when we hit stop record.
I feel like you're going to need to like spell this for me.
Yeah, it's Baiana. I discovered it during the Speed Project, and it's a great song.
Awesome.
We could talk to you about so much more. Like, we didn't even get into details about the Speed Project, like, because Bex told us how she hallucinated on it. It was just like,
there's so much we didn't touch upon, like even her run clubs and stuff.
No, she didn't do it solo, but
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she said it was an experience. Yeah, she really could have. Well, one other thing we're gonna try, and if we decide we're not gonna try, we'll just edit this out. But one other thing we want to try is we've been talking about for a year to come up with the Code Brown commandments, and what are they going to be? Are they going to be 10 or 12 or 20 or? What I'm thinking is going forward, we're going to ask our guests in 2024 to give us a commandment. So one could be like, know where the porta potties are on your trail, or bring toilet paper. Or another good one would be diaper rash cream to help heal chafing.
Yeah.
So do you have a commandment to add to our Code Brown commandments? I think this is what we're going to do, Erica. This is going to be our thing going forward.
It's so much easier than us trying to think of them all on our own.
You're the first one, Abby. You're the first one, Abby, so no pressure. What would be your Code Brown commandment?
So you guys took it kind of from me in the show notes. You can edit this out if you want. But I saw that and I was like, ooh, this reminds me of a story. But my Code Brown commandment would be to know what poison ivy looks like. And I say that because when I was still living in Boston, I, after work one day, decided to go do this trail run out in the woods to have some peace and quiet and just, think like decompress from the work day. And I randomly, a few miles in, was like, maybe I'll just go do some crunches in the field over there and some ab exercises. So I went to this like I don't know what goes through my mind sometimes. So I went to this random field, started doing ab exercise. Like I was doing crunches, I was doing planks, like everything, then got up and kept running. And then that night started developing this like rash all over my body. It was horrible. I had it for days.
Oh,
It was
no.
poison ivy. It was awful. I like couldn't sleep well, couldn't shower, it was really bad.
So my mind automatically just went to, oh God, she had to go in a bush and used it to wipe. But that's that is way worse. Having it all over your entire body.
I was like laying and I was like, I'll just do like who thinks like mid-run, like let's just work on our abs real quick. But I was like, yeah, like I'll do some core exercises and I had poison ivy all over my body. This was like
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
That'll teach you to be an overachiever, Abby.
Yes. Well, now even like on my 50 miler, when I was like going to pee in the bush, I'm like looking to make sure. Like I was traumatized after that. I hope I never get poison ivy again.
I love it. Our first official Code Brown commandment. Know what poison ivy looks like. Erica, write it down. We'll create a Google Doc.
Did. We're good.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for this amazing time. We have so much more to talk about, I feel like, and we'll get it done in April after you do your 100-miler in the London Marathon.
Awesome. Thank you guys. This has been so fun.
Best of luck to you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited for you. We can't wait to touch base again, but you're going to do perfect. And if you need if I can provide any other advice, I don't know if I can, but feel free to reach out again. I'm happy to help and just go crush it. You're doing awesome.
Yeah. And if you need any advice from someone who hasn't run a 100-miler or hasn't done a world major, come to me. I will give that
I might just need some hype. I just need some like support. I'll reach out to you, Eric.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have plenty of experience crewing. I've crewed Ironmans. I've crewed ultras. I can be your crew.
Okay. And Erica, you let me know if you need a crew or pacer because I'm there for that.
I really appreciate it. I will reach out.
Don't feel bad, Erica, for asking someone to travel.
I never want to put somebody out. I don't know.
Me too. Well, I'll come help you.
Yay.
Yes. All right. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Lena connected us. This is so cool. I think the first question was, Lena goes to me, I don't know how you feel about people suggesting someone. I love it. I want suggestions because that's somehow how we get some of our best guests. It really is. Lena is right. Oh. You are amazing. You are a treat to have on the podcast. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time. You've been so generous. We've gone long because we've had a couple pauses. We reached out to Ashley, your coach, and we were all over the map. You're amazing. Thank you for doing this.
No problem. Thank you both. I had so much fun talking to you guys.
The feeling is mutual.
Guys, I really hope you enjoyed our time with Abby. Abby Bandi on the On the Runs podcast.
Abby, you are incredible. I am so happy we got a chance to talk to you. You are just amazing. And really, I feel like we should do a race sometime. You and I just
an ultra? She could pace you.
I mean, I would honestly run anything with her, but an ultra would be really fun. That's how you really make friends because you're out there for so long with people. You really dig into those conversations, you know? So anything would be fun. But
she's got the 100-miler coming up in Texas. And remember, she was like, I'm hoping to run it under 20 hours.
Oh my God, those numbers, like I wish I could do that.
Not that hard though, 12-minute pace. I mean, not that hard, it's hard. But, Did you see, by the way, I posted the video of Matt Wilpers. I asked you to collab. Did you collab? Did you accept?
I did collab. I did, yeah.
Where he's like, oh, what are you running? Marathon? Oh, nice. What are you training for? Half marathon? Cool. 100-miler?
He asked, like, what are you training for? What's fun? What are you training for that's big? And I was like, well, I got a big race coming up. And I had to drop it out there. And he was like, what? 100-miler? I'm like,
I love how he's like, I once paced someone for the last 15 miles. And I was like, oh, I am not old enough for this yet. I need to mature a little.
Well, I don't think I'm quite there yet either. But everybody's got to start somewhere.
You and Tara had cool interactions because you had that one about the 100-miler. He talked to Tara and he seriously looked at her and was like, how you doing? Are you good? Is everything good? Because he knew about the back. All I got was my name pronounced wrong. I was Erica.
It just means you have to go back. Have
Gotta go
another
back.
experience.
I'm coming back,
so
Matt. I'm
there you
coming
go.
back.
There you go.
I'm coming back. I'm having like that not FOMO, but the blues. I'm having the Peloton Studio blues.
It's true. I mean,
It's true.
people have race like the marathon blues post marathon, and
Yeah.
we're just post Peloton. So
Hey, I got a question.
yeah, dude.
Do you like water?
Hell yeah, I like water. Yeah, I think I need a sip right now. Wait, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking this Poland spring water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this 100% recycled bottle Poland spring water. Love me some Poland spring water. How about
So do
you?
I. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Poland Spring.
Good.
I mean, got a little. Hold on, I got a little something on my face here.
Oh, yeah, take care of that. Get it off your brow.
Did I get it? Am I good?
Yeah.
Am I good?
You know what I
Okay,
like to do though?
Yeah.
I like to grab, I have these for on the go. Now, recycled bottle, great. I
Mhm.
like to grab these gallon of Poland spring water, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Now you might be like, guys, plastic, no plastic, use a reusable bottle. I got my custom reusable Poland spring bottle, right?
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
it's so good. And I just take water out of the gallon here and I
Yeah.
pour it in, and then I got my water because I don't like drinking water out of the kitchen sink. Do you?
No, well, I do, but I filter it. But it looks like you're going.
But you filter it with
absolutely
probably
pure.
like a Poland Spring filter, right? It has to be because
Oh,
we love
absolutely.
Poland Spring.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I'm going to refill this here.
Just gonna keep drinking here.
Anyways, this is not an ad, guys. This is just a shout out to Poland Springs because we have a friend who is trying to run the Boston Marathon this year.
I don't think they will find anyone more deserving than our good friend Tara.
Listen, let me tell you about our friend Tara Pterodactyl because she's going for the Boston Marathon this year and hoping to run for Poland Spring. Now, Poland Spring, if you're listening, Tara deserves this. Everyone deserves to. If they work for it, they all deserve it. But this girl last year, she did the work. She put in the miles. She did the training. She did the fundraising, made the money, all to wake up 12 days before the Boston Marathon and not feel her legs.
It's heartbreaking.
But she still did it. So she had this like sciatic pain or something in her back, and the doctor says, you need back surgery. And I don't advise you running a marathon unless it's the Boston Marathon.
No.
So she struggled through it. Remember?
Herniated
She
disc,
crossed
I think,
the finish
right?
line at like 7 hours, and they didn't even have a medal for her.
So not the Boston experience she was hoping for.
Yeah,
Not
the
at
whole
all.
experience was awful. Like, not awful. I mean, it was emotional, but we think she
Disappointing.
deserves another one, and she just applied to run for you guys, Poland Springs, and we love you, Poland Springs. So this is just our pitch to you to have our friend Tara Pterodactyl.
Please.
Tara Watt is
please,
really her
Poland
name.
Spring.
We want Tara to run in the Boston Marathon, and we're going to cheer on at mile 19. And we're not asking to run ourselves, but if you send us a t-shirt that says Poland Spring, we'll wear it when she passes us at mile 19, right?
It'll
With
match
our
your water bottle.
custom reusable water bottle
There you go.
that will only have the best, highest quality Poland Spring water coming from some of the coldest springs up there in Maine. That was fun.
Oh, I hope they like it. I feel like that was way longer than your 1 minute thing that you wanted.
It probably was. I don't know. I'll figure out what to do, but that was
Chop
cool.
some stuff out. But we digress. Tara really does deserve a spot. And I mean,
Yeah.
there how many spots are there? 15? There are so many
13 or something
deserving
like
people,
that. 13,
but
15.
we're hoping our girl Tara gets one because I would love to see her have another shot.
I know others of you who even listen. Beth, Steve, others are going for Poland Springs. I feel like everybody is. Denise did it before she got in. Like it's super cool they do that, but
Yeah.
Tara Watt for the win. Come on, Poland Spring. But listen, hey, it's late. I think you're going to go on the Google machine and find a new computer, you said.
I think it has to happen unless Riverside can fix the app by next Monday.
So what happened is, guys, Erica uses her phone for podcasting, and it's worked phenomenal for the past year. It really has. It's like you can do a podcast with your phone. You don't need a fancy computer.
It's awesome. Yeah. But
and the app had an update, and apparently the update had some bugs, and it went kaput on her today.
And the funny part is...
Actually did it last week, too, and they haven't fixed it yet.
Well, that's the funny part. It says that it released this new update to fix bugs, and here it is like my phone crashed, and it even said like clear Riverside cache, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. So
the guest we had on that we recorded with is like telling her, Erica, you never want to be the first one. Nothing new on race day. You don't update the app on podcast day.
I had auto update featured, or like clicked, so it automatically updated. I'm like, oh, that's a bad idea. But now I have to in case they fix it, and then I'll go back and.
Well, let's look at the positive. Your dinosaur of a computer is fully updated.
For now, we'll see. I'm just gonna have to keep it charged and somehow make sure that it's gonna keep working.
We can't go without talking about the Boston Run Show. Run Show.
It is this
my
weekend,
God.
You guys.
The
one last thing we're going to talk about.
Breaking news. We are going to go to the Boston Run Show on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. All day, Saturday, though, right? All day.
All day. I got the freedom. I got all day. So if we went on Saturday, I would have had to leave early. And plus, we have a few other things. So I'm like, I'm going to stay home Saturday. We're going to go all day Sunday.
Perfect.
It's going to be great. 10 to 4. We'll figure out logistics later. But if you haven't bought tickets yet, you have to pay at the door. So you can use the code podcast if you get it before the show.
Get them in advance. Make sure to do that. It's totally worth it. You guys are going to have a blast. I hope you can join us. We would love to see you guys out there.
You just went, oh, what do you go for?
Because
you saw a review, didn't you?
I did see a review. So
okay, tell me about it.
Well, oh man, I don't have it ready, but
you were so excited when you told me though. You're like, oh.
Yeah, did I send you a thing? I don't remember. But somebody else likes us from Ohio, and I don't know if they have any connection to Patrick or Angela or even
it could be Jared because you just had Jared on.
But I thought it said the name was Fletch something. Oh my gosh. Let me
We're
see if
growing
I can
in the
find
Midwest. We are. We're growing. And you know what? I don't even know if Ohio's really the Midwest. I kind of think it's like the Mideast, but they call it the Midwest.
I don't know what classifies as actually.
Well, they call it the Midwest, but I just don't like that's the Midwest to me would be like Montana and the Dakotas and Colorado. But some people even say Colorado's a southern state. I'm like, really? I don't think so. And then the West is California.
I have no idea.
Colorado's like the wild, wild West in my mind.
It's gorgeous over there. Are we going back?
So let's pump the numbers up. Guys, if you know how, leave a rating, 5-star review, type something up if you know how, because we don't. But Erica recently found some of them, and they're pretty awesome. And we thank everyone who's done it. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us. We are a mess.
I'm like not even paying attention at the moment. I'm trying to find the damn review. Oh, I found it.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Fletch LaRue. Oh, do I have to read it?
Yes, I want to hear it. Tell me what Fletch LaRue from Ohio says. I love you, Fletch.
We got a 5-star review.
5 stars.
Ohio pod fan. Funny, entertaining, and genuine. Erica and Eric's conversation is real and sincere. Great storytelling guests, whether about running or personal challenges. If in need of a smile for the day, don't miss an episode. You may even reach the verge of peeing your pants from laughter. Great job, E&E. So
I love
Fletch
that.
LaRue, thank you for your wonderful review. We love it. And yeah, if you guys have any comments, just if you can figure it out, leave us a review. It seems like Apple's the only place you can do it, but we'll take it.
Well, you could give 5 stars on Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah,
we like to read those comments. Those are pretty fun. So
it's really cool. And let me tell you this: maybe we don't find it. If you wrote one, you can email it to us at our email address is on
either
the
that
run
or
pod.
This Chartable website seems like it's going to start sending them to me. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, we're learning. We're figuring things out. We're updating old dinosaur computers. We're having some amazing people on. We're revamping things. Our Code Brown commandments are growing. This podcast is growing. We love what we do. We love you guys. So, follow, share, write a review, do the things that are going to help us grow. I can't wait to meet so many of you at the Boston Run Show. I feel like we're missing so much, but it's like 11:19 at night. I still feel like I'm being too loud, and we need to edit this. So we'll, next week we'll have like an epic epic tros because we'll be coming back from the Boston Run show. We'll have
We're
a
gonna
lot
have
to
to
catch
talk
up
about
on.
it. You know it.
Yeah. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, even though we're kind of like, I don't know. We can't figure out what we're doing.
I think
the
we're
thing
tired.
with podcasting.
Oh.
So yeah, this has been a joy. What a month. What a kickstart to 2024. Bex and then Jared and then Peloton, Abby, Boston Run show coming up. And then February.
What a blast.
February's going to be big.
Even I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Erica, save this podcast and take us home.
I hope you
Poland
guys
Spring, don't forget. Drink Poland Spring water. Poland Spring Terroir for the Boston Marathon. She deserves it. She earned it last year and had the unfortunate thing go wrong. We love her. She's amazing. Her whole entire story is on this podcast if you want to hear it. So Terroir, Poland Springs, we love you. It's all we drink. It's the best water. High quality H2O. Let's
Thanks,
go.
Bobby Boucher. All right, everybody. We love you. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. I know we're going to sleep well tonight. And most importantly, don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
I have a surprise.
Are you getting Ashley? Oh.
Can you imagine? Special guest.
It
No,
wouldn't
I'm not.
surprise me if he did, though, because he's really good at these surprises. Like, I got both of the freaking cats up here now. I don't know what to do. They're
Just
not
do
supposed
you.
to be. They're not
Do you.
supposed to be on the counter.